What's up, guys? So we're about to send it out to the lake. We've been waiting for the rain to stop, and it finally has. And we've got some brand new, well, as of this video, unreleased Berkley baits, but as of the publishing this video, brand new on the market Berkley baits for you guys to check out. And I'm super excited about them because they're optimized for forward-facing sonar, but all the stuff that I've been seeing about them and in my use of these baits, I've really come to find out that they're a little bit more versatile than just forward-facing sonar, which I'm super excited about. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do today. I found a little something yesterday while I was out in the water that I think these baits are going to work on, and I'm excited to see if I can go catch these fish or not. And so without further ado, let's get the boat loaded up, let's get to the lake, and let's see what we can get done. Okay. A little large head here. A little chunky duck. Look at that dude. Just a little chunker. Got a belly on him. Thank you. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Watched him come up and eat on Mega Live. That was cool. That was really cool. It's funny that Mega Live, that bottom separation, like, I didn't see, that's where this Mega Live I think is very interesting. Like, I didn't see that fish sitting on the bottom. It was so close to the bottom that I didn't see it, and I just reeled that crankbait by it and blasted up off the bottom and ate it, which is just, I don't know, it's interesting. It's one of those things, like, I think this Mega Live, I mean, as a tool for finding fish, is only effective when you've got that bottom separation, where in that fish's case I didn't. It was just, I was fishing in an area that I knew held fish, and then I got to see that fish react to that crankbait. And I will tell you, they move a lot faster than you think they do. That's one thing I'm learning. These fish can just, God, the amount of water they can cover is phenomenal when they want to cover it. There's just like, then I reeled that crankbait down to that fish, and I mean, it come up off the bottom. I mean, probably, it was good 5 feet in so fast that I literally only could react to the, when I felt the fish bite it. I mean, it's just, he's on it, so. That was awesome. That's awesome. I have no idea what this is, but that was a cool bite. Oh my gosh. It's a freaking pot of smallmouth right there. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's so cool. New Berkley Finisher there. Dropped it right on its head and it pounded it. That's awesome. Man, there's fish all over the bottom right here. That was awesome. That's the first fish that I've caught on forward facing sonar that I like legitimately, like I saw those fish on the bottom, I stopped, I dropped this Berkley Finisher on them and they freaking smashed it. That's awesome. Here they come again. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's a freaking good one too. Get up in here. Oh God, that's so much fun. Oh, that is so much fun. That is so much fun. There's another one, guys. Just a chunky one. So, there's a school of smallmouth swimming around in this area right here. There's a ball of bait fish sitting right here. And you guys can see this. So, there's that ball of bait fish right there. And then you pan right here, and then there's that ledge that comes up. So this ledge comes off right here. So it drops off, and then them smallmouth are sitting on the bottom at about 40, 45 feet. And if I can find them, every time I find them, I drop down on them and they just come right up off the bottom and will smoke this Berkley Finisher, which is just an immense amount of fun. There they are. Got him. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is the coolest crap. Oh, I get it now. I get why this is so addicting. When you find a pot of them like that, I mean, they are just healthy, fat smallmouth. There we go. Golly. Get in there. Heck yeah. That's a freaking good one right there. Guys, I have found the school again. And they are, this is either the same school or a different school, because these definitely aren't as wary. And they are pissed at this thing. Right there, guys. Look at that. All right, guys, so let's talk about this bait real quick. This is the brand new Berkley Finisher. This is a 1/2 ounce bait. This thing has been designed to do a lot of different things, not just drop on them vertically. Dropping on them vertically is one of the many jobs that it can do. You can also walk this thing like walking the dog in the column. So if you find fish suspended, you can throw this thing out there and twitch it back and forth, and it'll actually twitch back and forth to walk the dog. You can jig it up and down vertically like I am today. You can also just straight reel it, and it'll have like just a little shimmy on the way back. I mean, this thing is actually a really, really cool bait. I'm digging it. I love the kind of forward line tie on it, because when you hop it with that kind of forward line tie, you can watch it on the bottom. It kind of like wants to dart around, and it really gets those fish to react to this thing. And I mean, it's just cool. I mean, it's a badass little bait. And the thing is, you don't need forward facing sonar to fish it either. I mean, you can, like I said, throw this thing out there. You know, if you got fish coming up and feeding on top, but they're not really wanting to eat a top water, you can take this thing and toss it around, just reel it back, or even just twitch it back. And like I said, it'll walk the dog right under the water. And so I think this is going to be a bait that obviously has its job today, which is dropping it straight on their head. When I do find these fish, I actually got to find them again. I've kind of lost them. But when you find these fish, dropping straight on them, they'll come up off the bottom and want to eat this thing. But I think it's going to be fun to kind of explore this bait even more throughout the year and figure out different applications for it, outside of just dropping it on them, like I said, kind of fishing it up near the top and stuff like that. But it's fishing on some 10-pound, it's a 10-pound leader, 20-pound main line. This is a 7.4 medium. It's actually designed for swim baits. It's a swim bait rod, and that's what I'm throwing it on, just so I got a little bit of extra length so I can hit them, because I am bringing some of these fish out of 45, 50 foot of water. And so you just want to be able to hit them hard, get a good hook into them, and get them, throw down there and see if I can get them to react. Because some of them won't react. I mean, some of them they'll come up to it and then they'll swim immediately back down the bottom, and then others, they actually want to come up to it and they start fighting over it and want to eat. And that's kind of the deal, is if I can see an individual fish, normally that means there's a pod right there with them. And if I can get that individual one to come up off the bottom, the pod will come up off the bottom with them and start feeding, which is just freaking awesome. So yeah, we're gonna keep panning around here and see if we can find a few. That's awesome. Oh my god. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, that's a good one. That's a freaking good one. Look at that one, guys. Heck yeah. That right there. Oh, that is fun. That is fun. Oh yeah, heck yeah. Well, today was fun. It was really, really fun, because I was able to actually go out and use forward-facing sonar to catch fish. I found those fish yesterday, right at the end of the day, right when I had to leave, and then I was able to go back today, find them again, drop the trolling motor in the water, point the Mega Live at them, cast something to them, and get them to eat. And so that was a huge learning experience for me today. I loved every single second of it, just because I was able to learn something and do something new with forward-facing sonar. Because you guys know I'm on a little bit of a journey this year, doing a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, multi-species fishing, forward-facing sonar fishing, but like one of the big things this year was I'm gonna teach myself how to use that tech. And today was like the first step, I feel like, in the journey of actually being able to put the beam on them, see them, cast, and catch a fish. Now, I caught all the fish I did today on a brand new Berkley bait that I said we were going out to fish, and was kind of the goal of today, and that is the Berkley Finisher. Now, I'll be totally honest, when I first saw this bait, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking the same thing, is what does that even do? Like, it looks like it would do absolutely nothing. You know, there's no flanges, there's no hinges, there's no bills or anything on it. And so when I first got it, I was like, what do I even do with this thing? And so the first thing I did was drop it into the water and just start twitching it. And when I dropped it and just twitched it on a slack line, vertical line, it would like dance like this and just hop around all different directions. And that's exactly how I fished today while I was dropping on those fish's heads. You guys would see I'd drop down there and just kind of start twitching that line, twitching the slack. And when I would do that, that bait would dance around like this down there, and it would get those fish to react to it and to eat. So that was the first cool thing that it did. And then as I was kind of playing with it, I talked a little bit about this on the water, I casted it and just reeled it back to see what it would do. And the thing actually kind of just like snaked back to the boat with just a little bit of a shimmy as it snaked back to the boat, which was really, really cool. Like it was one of those actions that I didn't even know. I don't know, like when you look at the bait, you think, how does it do that? But somehow they've designed it where it'll kind of snake back and kind of shimmy back to the boat. And then the last thing I did, toss it out there and just kind of twitch it on a slack line, you know, with my rod tip up in the air right below the surface, and it would kind of twitch back and forth, almost like walking the dog subsurface, which I thought was really cool. And so it's one of those baits that I think is going to have a lot of really cool jobs and do a lot of really cool things. It's just going to be about getting it and experimenting with it in a bunch of different scenarios. The one I'm most excited about is obviously dropping on them and using them vertically, but the second is going to be like that subsurface deal. You know, when you got fish schooling and they're schooling on bait that it's about that size right there and they don't seem to want to eat anything else, the ability to be able to throw something out there and twitch it like that and it walk the dog under the water, kind of glide back and forth under the water, is going to be huge in catching fish that not many other people could probably be able to catch, which is really, really cool. But today I was throwing the number 7 size, so this is a 1/2 ounce number 7 size. Thing drops really, really quick while still being a really small profile, which is really, really cool. But it comes in 3 different sizes. You're also going to have the number 5 size, which is 3/8 of an ounce, a little bitty dude. I actually caught some crappie on that thing on accident the other day. I saw some fish and thought that they were bass, dropped down to them and ended up catching some crappie on that thing. And then this is the big brother. This is the number 9 size. You guys can kind of see the size difference there. This thing is going to be 3/4 of an ounce. And I think this one is going to be really awesome for those schooling fish, especially like schooling stripers and stuff like this. So, you know, not only is this cool for just bass, but it's multi-species, and not only is it just cool for forward-facing, but it's also cool for doing other things other than forward-facing sonar, which is really, really cool. And I also think, and I don't think they're optimized for this, but I do know enough about saltwater fishing to know these things would probably be really cool in salt water. I could see this like being like a loony jig surf fishing type deal where you throw that thing out there and kind of jerk it off the bottom like you do a loony jig, or even work it subsurface like I said, and get all kinds of fish in the surf to eat this thing. So just a thought to keep in your head. The only thing that I ran into with this bait today, and this is just something I'll pass on to you guys on optimizing it while you're fishing it, is it seemed that lighter line, so I started with 6-pound leader material, the lighter line would want to wrap around the line tie like that when I would actually twitch it up under the boat. And when I bumped up to 10-pound, I stopped having that problem. And I think a lot of it was just from the fact that that 6-pound being a little bit lighter, a little bit more supple, would kind of have a little bit more recoil just in how I was working it. And maybe if you worked it a little bit softer, you wouldn't have that problem. But just when I bumped up to 10-pound fluorocarbon, it seemed to eliminate that problem. So just something, you know, food for thought if you guys pick some of these things up, which they are available now. As of the recording of this video, they're not available, but as of the publishing of this video, which you guys are watching now, I've had to keep my mouth shut about these things for a while now. This has been all hush hush, secret. It's been killing me. They are available, so they're available. Links down in the description. Any more info you want to know about it, comment below. I'll help you guys get the info that you need. And then there's another bait that's actually coming out alongside the Finisher, and this one is an even weirder looking bait. And when I first saw this thing, I thought, what in the world is it? And then when I heard its name, I was like, what in the world kind of name is that? Until I figured out what the name was, and that is the brand new Berkley Krej. So Krej backwards is jerk, and that's because this is literally a backwards jerk bait. It's got an upside down backwards lip with the line tie at the top. And what this bait actually does is when you throw it out there, it sinks tail first and shimmies down towards the fish, and then when you jerk it, it jerks up towards the surface and then shimmies back down towards the fish again. Now, obviously, we didn't use this today. A lot of that was due to the fact we were fishing in 35, 40 foot of water, dropping straight on them. But I think this thing is going to be awesome for when I do find fish suspended on brush piles, suspended up off the bottom, being able to shimmy something down into their face, jerk it away from them, and shimmy it back down to them. This thing is really, really cool. Not only do you have the suspended brush pile fish thing that you can do with this, and the forward facing sonar thing that you can do with this, but I think this thing is going to be awesome for those schoolers, just like with the Finisher, having that bait that's just subsurface. There's days when they don't want to come up on top and actually eat a topwater, or they'll come up and blow up on it and miss it, where I think you could follow up with this thing and just jerk this thing right under the surface and just have it dart right under the surface and get those fish to eat it, where they don't want to come up and fully commit to something on top, which I think is going to be really, really cool. But I think this thing's going to get more play as the water starts to warm, because those fish start to kind of transition back up into the shallow stuff. And I'm really looking forward to learning this bait more and more. So be on the lookout for videos with the Krej, because I am super excited about getting to learn this bait. But that's the brand new Berkley baits for the release for where I'm at right now. As you're watching this video, which you guys will be seeing content. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me there. You guys will see some content at the event that I'm at. But I think this thing is going to be awesome. I think this is going to be a great tool, not only for forward facing sonar, but for a bunch of different applications. But yeah, so brand new Berkley Finisher, brand new Krej that I just dropped in the bottom of the boat. And as always, you guys are sweet. Thank you for watching. Bye.